Who taught you, please, who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate, you should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
Our black women need to really just, instill the wisdom needed, because y'all are the wisest ones on the planet. More wise than us. You're the ones to keep us in line whenever we're about to do the wrong things. Your discernment supersedes our own. And you have what we do not have, being as you have two X chromosomes and we have an X and a deformed X. They call a Y chromosome.
On that note, Logic, you already answered this question in the last Zoom meeting, but your answer was so profound. I just want to touch on it again, if you don't mind. We talked about hair weaves.
Oh, man.
You know what I want to say? There's this movie I just watched that was really good last month. It was called Bad Hair. It got Usher in it. It's about the weaves killing people. They put weave in it, it starts murdering everybody. It's crazy.
I saw that, John. That John was whack, man.
Good. I was like, okay, my daughter needs to see this. Watch this.
That John was super whack, man.
But yeah, man, that's a no-no. We need to love who we are. If you're born with it, let it be what it is. We don't need to try to look like Europeans, like Becky. A lot of our black women want to dye their hair blonde and everything. That's not attractive. It's really not. You're not going to find the real king you really want not being yourself. You'll find a king that ain't no king. A fraud. He just want to use and abuse you. He don't want to be there with you. He don't want to lift you up, put you on the throne you belong on. But you got to want to do that for yourself so that you can find the king that matches you. You know what I'm saying? So black women, just be yourself naturally, 100%. Love who you are. Natural hair is beautiful. So many styles you could rock.
So I'm going to tell you a story. I want to share a story with you, man, with y'all. I remember a couple years ago, man, I happened to be on South Street, man, walking down South Street. And walking towards me was this magnificent vision. Sister, monster fro, nappy than a motherfucker. And as she's navigating down the sidewalk, all you saw was the Europeans, man, just parting out her way and looking at her as she walked by in awe. You understand what I'm saying? And I couldn't remember feeling a more proud moment of my queens. It was just the defiance of it all, the defiance to be who you are.
Right.
I'm also the father of a teenage daughter, 14 years old, and that's my constant fight and struggle with her. She don't wear hair weave. She will do the braids with the extensions and so forth and so on. But this whole fascination that every woman has to have long flowing hair, it disturbs me, man.
Yeah, dead hair.
It disturbs me, man.
Dead hair. It has no strength, no power. It just droops straight to the ground.
Right.
But here it has power. It grows out and it sprouts towards the sun because it has light.
It's protection. It protects us from that. That direct sunlight that's frying their brains.
Right.
You know what I mean? We have a natural crown that protects us from that, flat out. You know what I mean? It allows us to absorb that and use it.
I used to have a crown on my head, but since I lost that, I put it on my bed. Yeah. It's like, dang, but I got to wear my crown here, so I'm going to just lock this up.
I'm rocking it like the ancient Kemetans now, brother. I ain't got no interference. I'm taking it all in.
Ashe.
You know what I'm saying? I lost my train of thought real quick. Oh, I come from an era, man. Like, I'm a 70s baby. So I grew up in the 70s. I remember the mid-70s vividly, man. And I remember just the expression of black love and black power in that time frame and how beautiful it was to see a sister come out here with two afro puffs sitting out this big on her head. You know what I mean? To see the cornrows, to see the shortcuts. You know, I'm all the way up through the 80s and halfway through the 90s before them clip-ons became real popular, and then it just became more and more progressive. And I hear a lot of my sisters telling me, you know, they do it to protect their hair. I'm like, protect your hair from what? People have been wearing your hair for centuries, eons even. You know, it never needed protection before. But what you're protecting it from is that indoctrination. The fact that you can't be sitting high and tight. They got to be laid down limp because that's prettier. You dig what I'm saying? And that just drives me nuts to hear my sister say that, man. I'm natural. I'm natural. How you natural with a whole fake ass joint sitting on top of your head? What's natural about that?
Yeah, that's not it. That's not it.